Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dharma practitioners, as ordinary human beings, we all are from morning to night, 24/7, from birth to death, in each and every corner in the world. Everyone look for happiness and satisfaction. And at the same time, we all wish for calmer, wiser, happier, more meaningful lifestyle. But when it comes to our life, sometimes even though we like that kind of lifestyle, we don't know how we can gain it. And sometimes we try to think about it, and by thinking about it, we visualize ourselves to gain that kind of lifestyle from outside world, but we don't know how we can contribute to the world to have that kind of lifestyle for other people. So most of time we go through self-centered mind, and most of time we look for gain something from outside world to find our inner happiness. But when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, what it mainly try to explain to you, there is nothing to gain from outside world. It is to develop inside you, and that development we call the cultivation of the mind. So when it comes to the meditation, the very connotation of the meditation is the cultivation of the mind. So what is this cultivation? The cultivation of the thoughts. And what will happen when you cultivate the thoughts? So when you cultivate the thoughts, when you cultivate your awareness beyond that thoughts, using the thoughts, and when you cultivate the clarity, when you cultivate your recognition, and as a result of that, what will happen? You are capable to gain the inner happiness and satisfaction. So, in the very personal level, as an ordinary person, we all experience our inside thoughts. So, what is the here cultivation of the thoughts? So, you have to bring the more profitable thoughts to yourself. So, from where these thoughts come? Thoughts also come from your own past. So, that's mean what? That's mean that already there is a part in you, it already went through success. It's there. That whatever the development you went through, it is there already. You went through this journey. That in your life, overall, that you never fail 100%. You never became unhappy the 100%. Sometimes you become unhappy, sometimes you become sad, sometimes you become worried, sometimes you become unsatisfied, sometimes you have the fear. So then, how about that other thoughts? And sometimes we don't count on that silence part of the thoughts. We always clinging to the dark side. And we already have a light also. If you look your life, and maybe you end of the day that you become so worried about that what happened and maybe what didn't happen the way you want. But you don't see There are a lot of things happen to you invisibly for your good, for your own good, for your own success. But we are not capable to see that. So in the very basic level, that's why the cultivation of the thoughts in an ordinary way, it's one thing. You become more aware, you become more focused to the good side of the life. So whatever the good happened to you, so whatever the success came to you, and that is one thing that in day-to-day life we don't appreciate, we don't see. Always it's a kind of like a negativity. Always we look for the dark things. Always we have the deeper connection to the sad things or the worry or the unhappiness. So conventionally, as an ordinary person, in the very basic level, so you have to have the pattern in you to purify these thoughts and get out of this all the negative dark thoughts and always be with the light or the positive thoughts. That is not enough, but the basic level is like you creating a ground to build the pillars. So once you have that you are, then you go to the deeper level of roots that have the memory or the patterns, and to go into that, you have to detach from the thoughts, you have to come to the awareness. So one thing is you develop profitable thoughts, and other one is you have to develop very clear awareness or the recognition. So because the ultimately the happiness come as the result. So one thing is the very first level, you have to learn to calm down, not to be so hurried. You look at today, it's kind of like a most expensive currency today. It's kind of like the speed. See that when something so fast, it's very expensive. The fast vehicles and even the modes that all the transport system, all the supersonic jets and train, buses, vehicles. If you can drive so fast than other, it's become expensive. Another thing is, look at these machines, computer. And if the computer is slow, you can't sell it for a higher price. So everybody look for these fast things. And even the food. You know, people best kind of like a fast food. They kind of like into, well, when you think you have to eat right away from the other side. No, this is everything instant. So we people into so you know, to gain things so fast. So it's became kind of like the most expensive tool today, that that's energy, the fast, you know. So then, but when it comes to the very authentic, real, organic happiness, remember, being fast, you can't gain it. That is something. Remember that. If you into too fast for things, you will lose that happiness. So for the very first basic thing, even for your spiritual practice or in your conventional life, your ordinary life, remember the very first thing, the very key point to develop, to do anything, to become successful, learn to calm down. It's not easy, of course. Why? Because through the journey, we develop a pattern to being fast. Now, naturally, automatically, deeper inside us, from our heart to blood pressure, that all this immunity and the nerve system, this everything now, it's kind of like a work, like a machines. And even this environment, as a result of this biochemical, electric, influence, and our environment also, we create, it's kind of like to work fast. So then, by the time we caught up in that current, and we lose the balance. So learn deeper inside you to calm down. So when you come to the meditation, when you observe the inhalation, exhalation, so by the time, even maybe you don't find the sensation, it's okay. But deeper, find the balance, calm. When you look into that, when you work with your calmness, that calmness itself bring the wisdom to yourself. So the calmer become the wiser, it's transformed. You start with being calm, that the calmness is more go with the physical material things. When it comes to fast, what you look out of the, how you gain that, it's belong to the time, and the time when the material, we send the time through the materials, so that when the material things go through the time, you measure it, and it becomes the speed. So when it becomes so fast, and what will happen? You start to lose a lot of things. Mainly you lose the awareness. And when you lose the awareness, you more depend on the memory. So that's how it happens. So learn to be calm. When the calmness settle down, when you know what is calmness, how to be calm, and you become wiser. So otherwise you can't be wise. If you're so fast, you lose the wisdom. So the wisdom is a kind of like a result. Let it come. So, but first be calm. And then as a result of that, you become happier. But today what happens? We try to be happy, and we are not calm, we are not wise, but we try to be happy. It doesn't work. So that's why let the process to be there. Look at your hands, legs, your ears, your eye, nose, tongue. Look at your body, how perfect it is. It's a kind of like a very universal code. Have you ever thought that? Your eye, like a billion years ago, if there was a human being in the same place in this anatomy. So it was not a different place. Look, have you ever connected to that universal code? Even after 1,000 years, whoever going to be in this planet, then they're also going to have two eyes, and it's going to be in the place exactly like you are. It's not a kind of like somewhere else. And the nose, and there is no one going to get a nose behind the head. So you belong to that universal code. And every day you look at, your face, your mirror reflect that your face every day, maybe one time a day, maybe 1,000 times a day, some people. But you never read that universal code. You never think that in front of this nose, that, the face that you have, and how similar to other people. How it come like that? So if you are so different, why, how that you connected to that? And then all this body, that your legs, your arms, that your entire body, and how it become. You know, that to make a robe, and sometimes for lay people, you know, to make a custom garment, that you have to go, it's kind of like you measure, you know, all the parts of your body, shoulder, the back, your head, or that kind of, you know, this everything. But when it come to that, when it come to us, it's not like that. From here to here, no, that's the measurement we give to make a rope. That's it. Not the height, not shoulders, not the hip or the, you know, nothing. And then some monks or some lay people, and they know how to do that. How it come like that? You know, so we never read that universal code. And when it come to our deeper inside, so you have to remember that you are not separate from something like that. And you have a deeper inner connection that you carry within you everywhere, wherever you go. There is something in you that always keep that connection. And if you just know that little bit yourself, it become a part of the wisdom. It become a kind of like something that remind you have some kind of connection to the other things. So that reminder is very important. Why you need that reminder? Because when you look into that, all the happiness or the satisfaction or the worry or the unhappiness, and you will see that whatever the thoughts that you have, just imagine it is happiness, just imagine it is worry and complain about something, and that all that you see within that, each and every words happening inside you, it is just not a simple word. So listen this very carefully and try to get it. It is not just a simple word. And there is a story behind that. So that is the most important thing that you have to remember. When there is a worry, unhappy, sadness, or maybe we take it as just a one word, but behind that one word, there's a long story. You're always clinging to that story, but you never see that story. You never understand that story. You never know from where that story keep coming. And you never have understanding how you link to that story. So that's why just clinging to one word is not the something that you hold. Understanding behind that word, there is a story, is the wisdom. So that's why when you slow down, when you calm down, what happens? That the story going to be very clear for you. So we disconnect from the other network. Let me get connect because there are some other students with us. And so otherwise they get lost the lesson. So, okay, so bear with me and I'll quickly get connect to them because there is some internet problem. Okay. Okay, yes. So that's why being wiser mean another way is when the thoughts come to you as happiness or the sadness, worry, disappointment, or the satisfaction or like that, rather than hold it to that thought, you start to see the story behind that thought. And that understanding allow you to settle down with the moment, and it bring the clarity to your inner experience. That clarity, when you have that clarity within yourself, you have the happiness. So when it comes to the meditation has a few basic words: awareness, attention, concentration regarding something. So in the very basic level, that the purification of the mind happen out of the awareness or the attention or the concentration. So in the beginning, as ordinary person, we build up the clarity within the thoughts, and then by the time we have to transform it to this inner clarity or our awareness, and that through the awareness, that recognition going to become sharp. So that way also, so the one is that when the recognition becomes sharp, your perception become going to be very clear. That clarity also become another wisdom to you. So then there are two wisdom. So the one wisdom is when the thoughts arise from inside you, you start to see the story behind that thought. And other wisdom is with the clarity that you have, when the perception happens, out of that perception, out of that clarity through the awareness, and you recognize that what you experience as it is. So that also brings some kind of wisdom. So you need to have this both wisdom. And sometimes we are capable to see the outside things as it is, but we are not capable to see the story behind our thoughts, or sad, or the worry, or the disappointment, or the happiness, satisfaction, joy, or any whatever experience. So then, through the tranquility state, what happens? It gives the access to go one by one. So one is that when things happen, when the thoughts arise, you start to see all the mental formations, the cankers, the history, and the story behind that you carry within that thought. So that is what called know thyself. Then you know who you are. And then that outside wisdom also very necessary. So the tranquility state balances this both, but when it go to the vipassana, what happens? So there is a deeper connection in between this outside and the inside story. So the tranquility state, you can't see it. So the tranquility state give the facilities to you to see things as it is. But this inside the story has a deeper connection, and that with the outside experience, and through the vipassana, you capable to see this both together, and then you understand how things come to be as they are. So that how things come to be as they are is, as example, two ways now. So that now you have to understand wisdom two ways. Tranquility states two ways. What are the two ways of the wisdom in the very basic level? So the one wisdom is that once you have the calmness, it allows you to recognize things from the outside world. And other wisdom is, behind the thoughts, you are capable to understand the story related to your own past. So as example, when someone say, oh, I like this. Behind that, that's a very, that's a moment of but behind that, why you like this, there's a deeper, long story. Sometimes we don't say. And sometimes we say, I hate this. It's a one simple sentence. But behind that, why you came to that situation to hate that, there is a long history. So, through the tranquility state, you can recognize it, you can get access, but when it comes to the vipassana level, you are capable to recognize this both together. So that recognition gives you the moment to liberate. Because once you recognize anymore, the way you react, the way you behave, it's going to be totally different. So then remember, now let's go a little bit deeper. So one clarity that you gain, that in this very moment, if we take this moment to come to this point, and whatever that go through in your mind regarding meditation or regarding this session, in the moment there are thoughts, that thoughts has a history. And there is a story behind it. And when it comes to this computer or the cell phone or your iPad, and it has a different story. So now this both together, interconnected, and bring the result of this moment. And if you look very carefully, you or in front of this cell phone or the computer or the iPad didn't happen by mistake. It already invisibly interconnected to your inner story. There is no separation. It's a deeper relationship. So then each and everything that you meet or you find, you see, from people to animal to even the trees, even the environments, that everything has a deeper relationship. until you see that, you can't get out of it. And sometimes your inner story becomes so powerful. Sometimes this outside situation becomes so powerful. Sometimes that outside the environment come towards you, that it's kind of like the magnet. And sometimes that it is so strong and it try to pull you towards that. It also has a power. So when you see the deeper connection, so there is another wisdom arise out of this both, and that is that's bring the crystal clear understanding of how things happens and why things happens. So then when it comes to, if somebody say, I hate this. So we get only the bottle. Now you can, once you recognize it, you can apply it to anything. So now think. So someone say, I hate this. So the one thing is, there is a deeper story behind us to hate this. And sometimes from outside, there are environment keep coming behind us. We belong to the environment. And maybe, I am so wise and I am so capable, strong to do things, but still, I get trapped. I become powerless in a certain environment or the situations. I can't escape. Like as example, when there is a deeper karma to give a hard time, most of the time that people come very close to you as a husband, wife, or as a child, as parents, as brothers, sisters. Look far away in another country, person, whatever they does, forget about it. It doesn't work, it doesn't affect for you. Why you get happy or unhappy, sad, worried, disappointed? Whoever you love you, that means the very person very close to you. So then how that person came to you? How that person came that closer to you and give a suffering? Because you are so smart. You have done things in the world. And you escape from many situations. You have done a lot of things. Not someone else. It's you have done a lot of things. You're so smart to do that. But still, how you get trapped? How you became kind of like, you in the outside world, when you play things, it's kind of like, you are like the Gulliver. But inside the house, sometimes inside the person, in front of some people, you become a Lilliput. You have no power. You're trapped there. How that happens? Even for the things. And you are so smart in the world. But in front of a cigarette, you become a Lilliput. You're so smart. You went to a lot of, that the universities, you have done a lot of degrees, diplomas, you got a lot of medals, so smart. But in front of a glass of wine or in front of glass of alcohol, you become a Lilliput. All the wisdom disappear, become dark. How it become like that? Why is that? So maybe you don't want it, but it keep coming. It keep coming behind you. Maybe from childhood you thought, oh, I don't want this kind of lifestyle. You had a vision. Now you every day experience that lifestyle. And maybe you thought, I never wanted this kind of partner. Now you have that partner with you. So that's why things not happen because we're not knowing, there's something. Because we don't see the deeper connection that we have. So the vipassana is the very key point. That's why through the tranquility meditation, it cannot, get out of the suffering. It has no way, it has no mechanism, it doesn't have a wisdom to end the suffering. So that's why this vipassana knowledge give you that deeper level of wisdom to see when you experience something. When you say, I hate something, what happened? You see the story behind you, and at the same time, you see the connection from this outside world. You see this, how both came together, and you meet it at the same time. Exactly right place. When you see that, you recognize, oh, wow. So that is where the wow sound come from inside. Because it's a deeper secret code that happening invisibly. It's nothing beyond that. It's our own thoughts, our own bodily, verbally, mentally actions, intention, and the action, and the repetition of the action. So that's why it happened like that. There's nothing wrong with the environment, nothing wrong with you. But unless we see that deeper connection, we can't get out of it. So then now you see, when you experience something, you see the inner story, you see the outside story, background story, and at the same time you recognize the inside this background and the both, why it came together. And then it's done. Once you have it, once you have that understanding, anymore it's not going to happen. But until you understand, until it come to the place that you understand, and it's going to keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. So that's why this understanding, or the inner wisdom, that attuning to this wisdom is it's kind of like a get connected to the deeper level of the truth, or the very deeper level of universal consciousness. Because why we can't understand it? We always separate and think, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is that is that, this is me. So we have this separation, and then we never going to get into one place. You're going to be there as who you are, I'm going to be here as who I am, and it never going to meet to one place. But when the day come, why I am here talking like this, why you are there listening like this, what is the connection in between both of us? That is the day we're going to end this session in between you and me. Until that, we're going to keep going. So then everything the same. Your child, your husband, your wife, your parents, your brother, sister, the neighbor, your environment. And you will see why that person is there, and at the same time you recognize why you are in this place. Because you, as example, when it comes to the neighbor, you recognize why that neighbor is there for you, and why you are here as a neighbor for that person. There is a deeper story. So then once you have that, you're never going to get lost in your thoughts. So that is the power of awareness. That is the power of recognition. So what does that mean? That means you never depend on the past or the future. That doesn't mean you're not going to know about your past or the future. No, you're not going to get lost in your past or in your future. So that's give the very solid moment of experience to the present moment. And out of that understanding, you're never going to have any kind of unprofitable action out of your bodily, verbally, and mentally actions. So that is the moment by moment process. And it gives the fulfillment, it gives the satisfaction, it gives the newness to your life. So you are the beneficiary, you are going to experience that all, you are the one who going to be in the center of that all experience. So and once you tune to that, you know the beauty of this human life. And then you are capable to understand the value of being mindful. So that's why every day we come like this and practice a little bit. So when it comes to practice to mindfulness, remember one thing is, as I mentioned in the beginning, calming down, it is very necessary. And then that developing the very profitable way of thoughts. That's why out of that all other activities you thought, oh, I want to practice meditation a little bit. So that is a one way that thought itself. And at this very time, you know, that you can watch some other things. You can interfere with someone. You know, you can watch a movie, documentary, and you can eat something. You can sleep. And this is a prime time, you know, 8 to 9. In this, you know, in this very busy Los Angeles, it's a prime time. And it's a very rush hour for all the media and all the cable network. It's a very rush hour. But out of that all, you sit yourself and thinking to practice a little bit. So that itself, see the profitable thought you cultivate, that is one thing. So now you're already there. And then now the second part, the cultivate your awareness, because our awareness always go into something from outside of us, looking for something. But now that completion, you bring it to you and you settle down your awareness within the most important part of your body, that is your breathing. So you settle down there. That is the highest. That is the connection you have to this world within. Each and every cell in your body, listen to that language, which is your inhalation, exhalation. It never going to miss any part in your body. Each and every part, it's kind of like a shower from inside. With your inhalation, exhalation, entire body get nourished. That is the most important and the highest in this material world. This everything, just imagine, just everything depend on this inhalation, exhalation. You settle down and you bring your awareness to that. So that means your awareness tuned to the most powerful and most highest place in your life. That's right. Just imagine for a moment, just seeing that as inhalation or as seeing it as exhalation. And your awareness not going to anywhere. One single second is giving you the highest profit to your body. And not only that, your mind, your brain, your heart, whatever you mention, that this everything together, your soul or your life, it gives the highest result to your life. Just imagine you have other everything, but if you can't experience the inhalation, exhalation, if your body can't experience the inhalation, exhalation, what will happen? You may, conquer this entire material world. You become owner to this all the wealth in the world. But if you can't experience the inhalation, exhalation, if your body can't listen to the inhalation, exhalation, what will happen? So that's why that is the highest. And take one single moment to be with that. That's it. Don't try to do anything. Don't bring any dogmas, don't bring any patterns, don't bring any method. Just try to be there and experience it. That experience will help you to settle down. Don't try to do anything, just observe. Let things to happen as it is. And we focus only to the inhalation, exhalation in the moment, and just let it be as it is. Inhalation as inhalation, exhalation as exhalation. So awareness means when it happens, you recognize it. Don't go anywhere. In case if the mind go anywhere, bring it back. And always remember the base is the calmness. When it go there, bring it. Don't try to be unhappy or worry. Don't try to be so fast or frustrated, inside. Oh, why mind so busy like this? Why it not happening to me? Why my mind go here and there? You don't need to do that. Be calm. It's okay. Mind is you. It's not something else. It's you. There are reasons that why the mind go here and there. Remember, I told, it says there is a story behind it. You don't need to go and read that story now. But now you settle down again and again, again and again, again and again. Bring the calmness, you settle down. So by the time you going to be with your own inhalation, exhalation, that is the most beautiful experience you can have in the world. You have seen many beautiful places. You being with many beautiful people around you. You being to many parties. You being to many things in the world. But for yourself, for your inside, the most beautiful place that you can be is your own inhalation, exhalation. Why? That is your life. See, you live so far, you never had that connection deeply. You knew it, but you never experienced it. But now you came to the point to be with it. And when you exactly come to the connect with the inhalation, exhalation, everything start to release from you. All the needs, want, me or this or that, dualistic minds, comparison, all the dependent nature, this everything released from you. Why? Because deeper, each head to toes, each and every cell in you, complete, satisfied. It's with you. That completion bring you the moment to transform this conventional life to eternal level. So let it happen. Only thing is first, learn to be with the breathing. Learn to be with the moment. Experience it with the awareness. So with that, let's get into practice now a little bit. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment you're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. So bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. Into your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any conditions, without any limitation, without any resistance. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata cha ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami Dhamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless.